What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to Game Day with Trey. Of course, this is your host, Trey. And today, we're going to talk about this NFL Sunday afternoon matchup between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Carolina Panthers. All right, so this game will be played Sunday, December 1st, 4:05 p.m. East Coast time in Charlotte, North Carolina. The line is Tampa Bay by 6, over-unders at 46.5. Okay, so let's take a quick look into these two teams, man. So Tampa Bay has managed to carve out a 4-3 run over their last 7 games. The wins in that time were over the Commanders, Lions, Eagles, and Saints. Since then, it's been a 1-3 stretch with losses to the Falcons, Chiefs, and 49ers, ahead of a win versus the Giants. Now, matched up against the Giants on Sunday, the Bucs didn't have too many issues. Tampa Bay jumped out to a 23-0 halftime edge and cruised to the win 30-7. Now, Baker Mayfield threw for 294 yards with a rush score. Bucky Irvin was tops on the ground with 12 totes for 87 yards and a touchdown of his own. Now, over on the other side for the Carolina Panthers, they lost to the Saints, Chargers, Bengals, Bears, Falcons, and Commanders over their 7 games. Carolina has won 2-2 in their last 4 games, though, but wins over the Saints and Giants, sandwiched between losses to the Broncos and Chiefs. Now, Carolina was down 20-9 by half in their matchup with the Chiefs last week. The Panthers played better in the second half, but eventually it still lost 30-27, covering that 11 points that they were getting against the Chiefs. Bryce Young threw for 263 yards and a score. David Moore, he led the receivers with 6 catches for 81 yards and a touchdown, guys. All right, so last time these two teams did meet was back on January 7th last season in Carolina. Tampa won 9-0 in the monsoon game. I think it was a monsoon, if I remember correctly, for that game. I know it was horrible. I was so angry. It just I don't know. I didn't understand how we couldn't score touchdowns that game. I really don't. We were dropping passes. I don't know. Anyway, let me get past that, right? Anyway, so right now, okay, the Panthers, as far as injury report is concerned, Panthers wide receiver Jalen Coker has quadriceps and tight end Jatavian Sanders' neck did not practice all week and are most likely out for Sunday's game. Linebackers Jadeveon Clowney, knee, and Amari Barno, knee, are questionable, as are cornerbacks Caleb Farley with the shoulder and safety Nick Scott with the hamstring. As for the Bucs, though, the Bucs safeties Tyke Smith, knee, and Jordan Whitehead, pectoral, did not practice all week, and both have been ruled out for this game. Linebacker Marquise Watts is out, and linebacker Joe Tryon-Shiinka is doubtful. Cornerback Troy Hill, ankle and /foot. Tackle Tristan Wirfs, knee/foot, and linebacker Anthony Nelson with personal are all questionable for this game, guys. Carolina and Tampa might get used to each other, as the two teams will collide again in Week 17. So this is a division rivalry game, guys. All right, we all know what division rivalry games mean. Division rivalry games means that things happen that usually don't happen. So if the stats are good, they're gonna help you, but understand that this is a rivalry game. That's why the picks be the way they are sometimes, man. So as far as how these teams are looking, man, Tampa Bay Buccaneers are scoring 28.1 points per game, and that's number 4 offense in the NFL, and they're going against literally the worst defense in the NFL that gives up 30.9 points per game. Yards per play, Tampa gets 6 yards a play, 5th best in the NFL. Carolina, 29th worst in the NFL, give up 5.8. On third down, Tampa, 2nd best in the NFL. They convert 50.37% of the time. Carolina, worst in the NFL. They allow you to convert 49.32% of the time. Red zone, Bucs are 2nd best in the NFL. They check the box, man. 69.77% of the time. 2nd best in the NFL, getting 3.4 touchdowns a game. That's 4th best in the NFL. And then when you look over here to Carolina, they literally are the worst third down defense in the NFL. 49.32% of the time they allow you to convert. In the red zone, they allow you to get a touchdown 63.83% of the time. That's the 24th in the NFL, and they give up 3.5 touchdowns a game. That is literally the worst defense in the NFL when you're talking about touchdowns a game, man. So the Bucs should be getting touchdowns in this game. Minimum, they should get a minimum of 3 to 4 touchdowns in this game on offense, man. Just like, if it don't happen, I don't understand. It's just, I wouldn't be able to understand outside of the fact that Dave Canales is an ex-Buck. He just left. Baker Mayfield was his quarterback last year. Like, there's a lot of things that's in the mix. These two teams are definitely familiar with each other, man. There's a lot of familiarity here. All right, but I got my faith in Liam Cohen. So let's go ahead and look on the other side, right? And Todd Bowles, by the way. So when I look on the other side, man, and I'm looking at this Dave Canales called offense that the Carolina Panthers got going on, they're the 29th worst in the NFL, like 17.6 points a game, just like he'd had with the Bucs last year. But the Bucs are giving up 24.8 points a game on defense. So it's the 29th worst offense versus the 24th worst defense. Carolina gets 5 yards a play. That's 25th worst in the NFL. Going against the Bucs, it gives up 5.7 yards per play. That's the literally 26th worst in the NFL. What about third down? Bucs can't get off the field. They allow you to convert on third down 43.48% of the time, 24th worst. And Carolina, they are literally the 27th worst. They convert on third down 33.83% of the time. What about in the red zone? So when you look in the red zone, they score a touchdown 58.06% of the time. So they do, when they get down the field, they are able to check that box. They can handle that, but they only get 1.9 touchdowns a game. So that's literally 27th in the NFL, guys. All right, so let's look over here to Tampa. So Tampa, in the red zone, they allow you to score a touchdown 56.1% of the time. That is 16th in the NFL. They give up 2.8 touchdowns a game. That's 24th worst in the NFL. So Carolina should be able to put up some touchdowns in this game somehow, some way. They should put up a touchdown or two somehow. Well, how are they going to move it, right? How is that going to happen? So let's look over at Tampa. Tampa, 4th best running team in the NFL on yards per rush. 4.9 yards per rush. When you're talking about going against a Carolina team that's 24th worst, giving up 4.7, Tampa should see some success there, especially since full game, Carolina gives up 160.5 yards a game. That's 32nd worst, and they give up 1.5 touchdowns on the ground a game, man. Tampa should be running roughshod all over this Carolina defense, straight up, man. Tampa gets 128.2 yards a game, 1.1 touchdowns a game. That's 10th and 8th. Man, come on, man. Carolina's the worst running defense in the NFL. Full game. Like, this should be a buck and tuck. It should be Bucky Irvin, Tuck, and Rashad White game all day. There should be no questions. There should be no questions. We should be getting that push in the front, man. So then when you look over at Carolina, how are they going to move the ball? Well, they run the ball as far as yards per play. They run it 4.6 yards per play, right? That's 10th best in the NFL, but that's some kind of tomfoolery right there. That'll trick you because at the end of the day, they're only getting 107.7 yards a game. That's 24th worst, and they don't even get a touchdown a game on the ground. All right, and when you're going against the Tampa Bay defense, who really is not great at doing that either, because they only give up 4.7 yards, 25th worst in the NFL, give up 20.7. That's the middle of the pack, and they give up a touchdown a game. That's 13, middle of the pack, guys. Well, what about Tampa passing it? Well, Tampa's passing. They should be passing the ball 7.5 yards a play because guess what? Carolina gives up 7.6. So that shouldn't be stopped. They should be able to pass for the 241.5. Want to know why? Because Carolina allows you to pass for 226.7. That's 24th worst. So Tampa should be able to pass the ball. Carolina doesn't get to the quarterback. They only sack the quarterback 4.7% of the time. Tampa is 9th best at protecting Baker, or Baker protecting himself, whichever one you want to call it, because it goes both ways. Then you look at Carolina. Oh man, they are the 31st worst passing offense in the NFL, 5.9 yards a pass. They allow you to sack the quarterback 5.4% of the time, so they don't allow that too tough. But they only get 177.8 passing yards a game. That's literally the 31st worst. But they're going to get a Buck defense that'll give them 7.4 because the Bucks are the 20th worst yards per pass and 255.5 yards a game, which is the 29th worst in the NFL. So definitely opportunity there. So let's look at some of the situational stats, guys. So on the season, we all know the Bucks are 5-6 and Carolina's 3-8. Bucks are fighting to be able to maintain and get a playoff spot, right? They're fighting for a wild card right now. That's straight up. Now against the spread, the Bucks are 7-4. and they're going against a 4-7 Carolina Panthers. At home, Carolina Panthers are 2-3, and on the road, Bucs are 4-1 against the spread. As a away favorite, the Bucs are 2-0, and as a home underdog, Carolina's 2-3. All right, in division games, the Bucs are 1-2 though, but so is Carolina against the spread. Now, when we talk about over/unders, the Bucs are 7 to the over, 4 to the under, and Carolina's 8 to the over, 3 to the under. At home, Carolina's 4 to the over, 1 to the under, and as an away team, Bucs are 3 to the over, 2 to the under. As a home underdog, it's been 4 to the over, 1 to the under for Carolina, and with the Bucs as an away favorite, it's been 1 to the over, 1 to the under, and in the division games, all of them have gone over for the Bucs as well as for Carolina, guys. That's why the line at 46.5, there's definite opportunity there, man. So in the last 10 times that these teams have actually been out on the field, Tampa Bay Bucs are 4-6 in their last 10. 6-4 against the spread, and 6-4, 6 to the over, 4 to the under in their last 10. In their last 3 games, they are 1-2, but yet they have covered all 3 in a row. So the Bucs basically have been covering the spreads one way or another in their last 3 games. They've got 2 unders and 1 over in their last 3. Remember though, they were facing an offensively challenged Giants, and their over was with Kansas City, and the under was with San Francisco. So, and then you could, take that with a grain of salt on how that went with San Francisco anyway with the over/under. And then, next 3 games, Tampa Bay is going to play against Vegas, the Chargers, and Dallas. All winnable games, but you will see, especially that Charger game. That Charger game will be a battle, fight, whatever you want to call it, man. Now, when you talk about Carolina is 3-7 in their last 10, 4-6 against the spread, 7 to the over, 3 to the under. In their last 3, they are 2-1 straight up, and they're 3-0 in their last 3. So they're on a little streak. They're on a little heater right now. Okay, and there's been 2 overs and 1 under in the last 3 games. But all 3 of these games have been at home, and this game's at home too. This will be their 4th straight home game, guys. So so far on the season, when you look what they're averaging as far as at home, the Carolina Panthers right now are averaging at home, scoring 19.4 points a game, giving up 30, whereas the Bucs are scoring 31 points and giving up 23.2 on the road. Now, you got to look at this for the last 3 games, though. Carolina scoring 23 points a game and giving up 23 points a game, whereas the Bucs are scoring 24.7 and giving up 20. Both of those would take it right next to the over or right over, and I think Carolina should be able to, the Bucs should be able to score some points in this game. Team total set at 24.5. I love that team total over, just so you know. Lock that in. Definitely will be in the pinned comment, guys. Next 3 games for Carolina is Philly, Dallas, and Arizona, guys. All losable games except for that Dallas game. They should be able to win that game, maybe. I don't know. Carolina's 3-7, like I said, 4-6 against the spread, and 7 to the over, 3 to the under in their last 10. And as far as head-to-head, though, Tampa runs this 8-2, and it's 7-3 against the spread. But it's been 5 overs, 4 unders with 1 push. Tampa's won the last 3 times these 2 teams have matched up. But Tampa's 2-1 against the spread, and it's been 2 overs with 1 under in the last 3 times they did play. So take that as you will, guys. All right, so where do I sit with this? How do I feel about this? Well, you got to understand some of the trends. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have covered the spread in 14 of their last 22 games, whereas the Carolina Panthers have hit second quarter game total over in 13 of their last 17 games. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers also have covered the first quarter spread in 15 of their last 22 games, whereas the Carolina Panthers, they've covered the third quarter spread in 12 of their last 17 games. Tampa Bay Buccaneers also have scored first in 6 of their last 8 games, and the Carolina Panthers have hit the fourth quarter game total under in 12 of their last 17 games. Tampa Bay Buccaneers have hit the second quarter money line in 6 of their last 10 away games, and the Carolina Panthers have hit the second half game total over in 12 of their last 19 games. All right, Tampa Bay Buccaneers have covered the second quarter spread in 8 of the last 9 away games, and the Carolina Panthers have hit the first half game total over in 12 of their last 19 games. The Carolina Panthers have also hit the second half money line in 4 of their last 8 games at home, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have hit the first half spread in 15 of their last 22 games, guys. All right, so that's definitely some stuff you want to pay attention to. All right, where am I at with this one? Well, 8 of the Buccaneers' last 9 Sunday games as road favorites have gone under on the total points line. 7 of the last 8 games between NFC teams and the NFC South teams have gone over the total points line. And each of the December games between the Buccaneers and the Panthers at Bank of America Stadium have gone under the total points line, guys. I'll probably just stay with my Buckaroos on this one. Okay, the Bucs have the good fortune of playing New York, a team that they just played in their last outing, resulting in 450 total yards, 294 passing, 24 first down, 7.3 yards per play. The D held strong against weak Giants offense, giving up 245 yards, 196 on passing, and 17 first downs. It was a solid performance and a much-needed victory to stop a 4-game skid. As for Carolina, they started pretty slowly versus the Chiefs, but eventually made a game of it. The Panthers offense could only muster 5 of 13 on third downs, and the team registered 9 penalties in a sloppy game, 19 penalties overall. However, Carolina is scoring a little bit better lately, 20 points or more in the last 3, and that follows a 2-game stretch with a combined 21 points in October. With that said, hell, I'm not sure if the Bucs defense can really give up the 6 points. So I'm going to tell you that 24.5, I like that. I'm going to lock that in. If I was to play the spread, I would probably buy it down and get the Bucs at like -3.5 or something, or -3, because that -6 is just that's a lot of points. I would probably have to look and hold on. So the public right now is on Carolina. The public is on Carolina with the 6. The public thinks that Carolina is the play with the 6 points because of how the Bucs defense is played and because of recency bias on what the Chiefs just did. But not so fast, guys. All right. I just remembered the fact that Dave Canales is the offensive coordinator and head coach of the Carolina Panthers. I know what his offense looks like. I know Liam Cohen's offense is 10 times better. We will score almost every time we get the ball to move the ball down the field and matriculate. The Carolina Panthers are going to start slow. They always, Dave Canales is a slow starter. He doesn't know how to call plays in succession, and he's not really good situationally. So at the end of the day, I think Todd Bowles will be able to get this team in a position where the Bucs can actually cover that 6. So I take that back. I would rock with the Bucs minus the 6. I know the public's on the Carolina Panthers with the 6. I would take the Bucs minus the 6. I'm definitely locking in the 24.5, and I love the over 46.5, man. But I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Y'all have a blessed day. Stay safe, and I'm going to see y'all at the window. Peace.